Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Guman saying happy Friday. The Virgin Islands Hotel and Tourism Association, or VIHTA, they met on Friday for their annual general membership meeting at the Ritz-Carlton on St. Thomas. Tourism Commissioner Beverly Nicholson-Doty was present and gave updates on airlift, new flights, and how Zika affected tourism revenue in the Virgin Islands tourism. News 2's April Knight has details.
Tourism Commissioner Beverly Nicholson-Doty gave updates on the industry at the 2016 VIHTA meeting on Friday. On airlift, she said some 745,000 passengers arrived in the Virgin Islands in 2015, and more than a quarter of them head on to the British Virgin Islands.
So that 26% is something that we acknowledge. It is actually a part of the strategy. I don't believe that we would have the seats that we have into St. Thomas if we could not incorporate the fact that the BVI does have a pass-through impact on the Virgin Islands.
According to Doty, between January and May of 2016, the territory averaged a weekly airlift capacity of some 21,000 seats. The commissioner also announced that United Airlines will start flying direct between St. Thomas and Houston starting May 28th. The commissioner gave updates on how Zika affected VI tourism. Bookings were down 2% in January and then another 2% in February, but went up more than 2% in March of this year.
We saw a direct impact on cancellations, and so we know that number is somewhere around $500,000.
VIHTA President Lisa Hamilton also gave updates on the increase in minimum wage and its impact on tipped workers. The association continues to work with lawmakers, she said, to make sure that aspect does not drastically impact local hospitality businesses.
They're going to issue an amendment, putting it at 35% minimum wage, but they're going to cap it with this 8.35 increase in June, which is actually way better than we hoped for.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Members of the 31st Legislature, led by Senate President Neville James, held legislative session at the Capitol building on Friday to receive testimony from officials from the VI Water and Power Authority concerning Bill number 31-0347 to appropriate funds to repay debt for water and utility services owed by the two hospitals, the Governor Wanifalui Hospital and Medical Center and the Royal Liechtensteiner Hospital, and repeal an Act number 7508, Section 10, relating to the repayment of $13 million for federal income taxes owed in connection with the Series 2006 bonds from monies recovered from related litigation. According to Julio Reimer, Interim Executive Director of WAPA, as a result, Moody's Investors Services placed the authority's bonds on a path to downgrade. Here's more.
The bill before you today seeks to appropriate $8 million, $4 million each for each hospital, to reduce their receivables for water and electric services. While this is certainly a step in the right direction, there needs to be a long-term solution for the problems that are plaguing our hospitals, and we support any measure that would stabilize the hospital finances in the hope that they will be able to pay for the utility service they are being provided. The authority and the ratepayers cannot and should not continue to be the bank of convenience for the hospitals. While the authority appreciates and recognizes the swift and decisive action being taken by the Honorable Governor and the Legislature today as a step towards restoring confidence in the credit market, providing funds to pay outstanding fuel obligation, further action is necessary.
The Committee on Government Services, Consumer and Veterans Affairs, chaired by Senator Justin Harrigan Sr., met at the legislature on St. Thomas Thursday to receive an update from Lawrence Olive, Director of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Senator Harrigan clarified that the meeting had been scheduled prior to the committee's response to an increase in the cost for license plates implemented to offset costs for the 2017 Transfer Day Centennial celebrations. He provided a verbal status update during questioning where he noted that significant progress has been made in his tenure. Additional staff had been hired, wait times have decreased significantly, he said, and real IDs are just 2 months away after more than a decade. Count on 2 to keep you updated. In other news, Secretary Robert McDonald of the United States Department of Veterans Affairs will be making his first official visit to the USVI on Monday, April 25th. He will be on St. Croix to recognize 5 Virgin Islanders who served the 65th Army Regiment from the Korean War: Jerome Ferdinand, Jerome Jackson, Aubrey Nelthrop, Carl Thomas, and Leroy Woodrup. A ceremony at Government House in Christiansted is scheduled. The Secretary will also recognize and present an award to Army veteran John Tranberg of St. Croix. Mr. Tranberg, who celebrated his 100th birthday on April 17th, was assigned initially to the 873rd Port Company and later transferred to the 872nd in Louisiana during World War II. Governor Mapp will also present a proclamation honoring Mr. Tranberg. Following the presentations, Secretary McDonald and Director Farrell will host a Veterans Town Hall in the ballroom at Government House. Governor Mapp, meanwhile, has requested that the 31st Legislature appropriate funds to reimburse the federal government for unauthorized spending under the previous administration. A federal audit conducted in 2012 revealed that some of the grant funding for the Virgin Islands Law Enforcement Planning Commission was used to cover local costs from 2006 to 2010 that were not covered under the terms of the award. As a result of that misspending, new grants to the territory have been suspended, costing the territory millions in funding for much needed early intervention and crime prevention programs. The governor has asked that the 31st Legislature appropriate $500,000 in order to reimburse the U.S. Department of Justice. Keenan Powell Ryder, 20, of Gainesville, Georgia, made his initial appearance before U.S. Magistrate Judge Ruth Miller at a preliminary hearing. Probable cause was found to arrest Powell Ryder, who was subsequently released on an appearance bond with numerous conditions of release. According to the complaint, on April 19th, Powell Ryder arrived at the Cyril King Airport on board a Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta, Georgia. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers approached Powell Ryder and asked him if he had any checked luggage, which he denied. Officers matched luggage containing 14.99 kilograms of marijuana to Powell Ryder. He faces a maximum of 5 years in prison and $250,000 fine. Well, as we reported on Thursday, negotiations continue between the territory's teachers' unions and the Mapp Potter administration. The St. Thomas AFT president shared some details with NEWS2 on the controversial retro pay provisions, as well as what the way forward looks like. NEWS2's April Knight has that story.
Avery Lewis, the St. Thomas American Federation of Teachers president, was in Senate chambers on Friday, urging lawmakers to move quickly on the bill that would increase teachers' salaries.
Please pass this bill so people could receive their salary adjustment. We have been long overdue waiting for this salary adjustment. We have been waiting from 2010 up until present.
This was after union leaders met with the Office of Collective Bargaining to discuss not just the teachers' salary increases and retro, but the deplorable working conditions in public schools in the Virgin Islands. The bill was delayed at the Senate because of some figures needing revision. Lewis also confirmed that the administration gave him this document earlier in the negotiations. In spite of the chief negotiator's denial that retro and pay increases were not linked, this clearly states that teachers agreed to waive retro from 2011 to 2015. According to Lewis, the teachers' protest on Tuesday helped in taking that condition off the table.
Now the government realized that the members of the AFT is very serious and they take a stance and a position.
Now, after trying to get the teachers to give up several years' worth of retro, the administration seems to now have thrown that ball into the Senate's court, telling union leaders that the Senate has to find the money to pay off the retroactive debt. And even though the government is strapped for cash, Lewis said it's all about priorities.
If you're going to make that promise to me, then I thought you'd be prudent to set aside all of the proper fundings for it.
Reporting for NEWS2, I'm April Knight.
Negotiations for a new collective bargaining contract will begin in May, according to Avery Lewis. NEWS2 will keep you updated on any development with the wage increase bill. Turn our attention overseas. Some presidential candidates are taking a different approach heading into the next round of primaries. This could be a big weekend as voters go to the polls in 5 states next Tuesday, including Pennsylvania. Andrew Spencer reports this weekend the candidates for both parties will be trying to build as much support as they can.
Hillary Clinton, who often criticizes Bernie Sanders for his record on guns, took a lighter approach on Thursday.
Please make comprehensive gun safety reform at the top of your list, and make sure that you are voting for people who share that commitment.
At a Connecticut roundtable on gun violence, Clinton only mentioned Sanders once, a switch from her direct attacks ahead of the New York primary. Sanders, on the other hand, continued his standard compare and contrast at 3 rallies in Pennsylvania.
I opposed all of these trade agreements. Secretary Clinton supported virtually all of them. That is a major difference between us.
On the surface, Trump is back to the same old Trump.
We got lying Ted, we have crooked Hillary. Cruz and Kasich have no path to victory. It's over. It's over.
But some of his top advisors met with top Republican officials at a resort in Hollywood, Florida on Thursday. Trump's advisors saying he is ready to work with the Republican Party to evolve past the divisive primary and focus on the general election. A move Senator Ted Cruz and Governor John Kasich, no doubt, see as premature. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
As stunned fans continue to mourn legendary singer Prince, questions remain as to what killed him. Diane Gallagher reports.
Medical examiners in Minnesota worked Friday to try and figure out what killed Prince Rogers Nelson.
Attention family has some rescue needed for a medical at Paisley Park.
Just one day after paramedics were called to his Paisley Park recording studios after the legendary superstar was found unresponsive in an elevator. Now, in the weeks leading up to his death, the flu was blamed for postponed concerts, an emergency plane landing, and a visit to the hospital. It could be days or weeks before a cause of death is known.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today.
And the world, perhaps the universe even, according to this tweet from NASA, is doing just that. Gathering to mourn, to sing, and of course, dance. The 7-time Grammy winner's unexpected death Thursday cast a purple glow from Broadway to LA to his beloved home state of Minnesota. Fans.
He was so beautiful and alive, and then all of a sudden he's gone.
And friends.
It's a heartbreak, and I was shocked.
Stunned. As tributes flooded social media, even the president released a statement. Those who knew the Purple One best reminisced about the 57-year-old icon.
He was such a remarkable artist and a remarkable human being, and I was fortunate enough to have worked with him.
I'm going to miss my friend. It's as simple as that. I'm going to miss my friend.
All agreeing that nothing compares to Prince. In Washington, Diane Gallagher.
Meanwhile, keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. Taking a look at the numbers there, we can see the Dow up 21, NASDAQ down 39, S&P 500 up. Coming up on News 2, The Village opens this year. The Village is named Showtime HQ to honor Jam Band. We have that and more in our Carnival Corner. Welcome back. The Schneider Regional Medical Center is experiencing a disruption of service. Late last night, they say a main water line to the hospital burst, causing damage to the basement floor. There has been no damage to patient floors, but water to the building has been shut off for repairs. Therefore, any elective procedures, patient visits, lab visits, or hemodialysis appointments will need to be rescheduled. This incident also affects the community health care clinic, the immunization program, WIC, and the issuance of the food handlers cards. Now, people seeking food handlers cards for Carnival service may return, they say, on Monday to complete their process. Hours will be extended on Monday and Tuesday from 8 a.m. Repairs are expected to be completed within 24 hours. Carnival Magic will call on St. Thomas for the first time on Tuesday, April 26th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and berth at the Waco Dock. Joseph Bishelti, president and CEO of the West Indian Company, welcomes the visit during the best time, he says, Carnival. In service since 2011, Carnival Magic is the third of Carnival Cruise Line's Dream Class ships. Dream Class ships offer a limited number of family-sized staterooms, children's facilities, and spacious play areas, a Carnival Waterworks Aqua Park, a 2-level adults-only retreat, and a wellness area. Carnival Magic recently was remastered and came out of dry dock in March 2016. It holds over 4,000 passengers maximum capacity and over 1,000 crew. Speaking of Carnival, tonight is the opening of the Carnival Village, and this year the village is named Showtime HQ to honor Jam Band. The ribbon cutting took place earlier this afternoon. Carnival royalty, along with the governor, cut that ribbon. Now the village opens at 6 p.m., opened earlier at 6 p.m. at the Fort Christian parking lot. Be sure to tune in to NEWS2 on Monday for highlights of opening night, as well as the honoree ceremony. Well, here is your village entertainment there. Tonight, it's Asylum featuring Bungie and Fayan, St. Thomas's All-Stars, Milo's Kings, Nikki Brooks, DFS Entertainment. Moving on to Saturday, we have DJ Avalanche, Avengers, Shaw, and the HP Band, Express Band. Sunday, DJ Pete, Sisa and Band, Fusion, Stylee. Monday, DJ Cypher, Awi Band, Digital, Cool Sessions Brass. Tuesday, it's DJ Pete, Flambo Combo, VI Sparks, Spectrum Band, Ricardo Drew, Farmer Nappy, Olantunji, and Rock City. That's just a little bit for now. Be sure to stop by the Innovative Tent. That's one of the attractions there. Innovative is opening up free Wi-Fi in the Carnival Village from the 23rd to May 3rd. Keep an eye out for the Purple Tent in the village tonight. Be sure to stop by for prizes and giveaways. You can have your photo taken at the photo booth and displayed on the stage. Any photos you take and post on social media, hashtag them for your chance to win some prizes. Well, be sure to also stop by all the vendors and all the other booths with all the tasty treats. Saturday night, the Calypso competition continues at the Lionel Roberts Stadium, 8 p.m. Sunday, it's the boat races. Many will line the waterfront from 10 a.m. in Charlotte-Amalie. Then they'll head over to the Lionel Roberts Stadium at 5 p.m. for the Steel Band Jamboree. If you love pan music, you won't want to miss this. Looking to the following week, Wednesday, April 26th, is the Senior Citizens Quail Bay Tramp, 8 p.m. from the Market Square. The next day, Thursday, April 27th, is the Cultural and Food Fair, 8 a.m. at Emancipation Garden. April 28th, Juve at 4 a.m. on the waterfront. And Friday, April 29th, Children's Parade. Saturday, April 30th, Adults Parade. And last lap in the village later that evening at 10 p.m. Be sure to tune in to CBS TV2's live, colorful Carnival coverage of the adults and children's parades. We will set up shop in the usual spot at Grand Hotel Square. We will also live stream the parade, details to come. And please remember to send us your entry information. You can email it to newsdirector@tv2.vi. That's newsdirector@tv2.vi. You can inbox us on Facebook or drop it off on Parade Day at the Grand Hotel Square. Gift Hill School, in other news, they will be holding some mini Mester sessions next week and closed in honor of St. Thomas Carnival next Wednesday through Friday. Mini Mester sessions at the upper campus allows the students to focus on an area of interest for a week or so. For instance, the theater group, actors, pit band, set and costume design, tech and lighting. They will be getting together and they will be working the whole week, resulting in 3 theater performances next weekend, Friday, April 29th at 7 p.m., Saturday, April 30th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. The performance is a cabaret called A Festival of Merriment and Joy for the Good of King Heimlich. And it's an original show created by the New England Youth Theater, who will be in town working with the students. Well, imagine original music, sound, and video, all done by young people ages 11 and 16. The Youth Movie Making Workshop at the Reichel is a 5-week hands-on workshop. Reichel says it's tailored to motivate, educate, and build practical skills in movie making. The students learn how to operate cameras, write scripts, and use digital editing industry standard computer software to film and produce their own scripted stories. Applications are available for this class online at www.reichelcenter.org, or you can call 340-693-1550 for more information. That program begins on Monday, June 27th. It runs from Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Great program there. April 22nd was widely recognized today as Earth Day across the globe. In fact, 2016 marks the 46th year Earth Day has been recognized, and it is now observed in 192 countries. Governor Kenneth Mapp also declared it Earth Day in the territory. The governor took the opportunity to stress to lawmakers the importance of his comprehensive waste minimization plan that includes recycling and composting. In early February, the governor sent down legislation to introduce what he called long overdue and critical reforms to better manage solid waste in the Virgin Islands. The bills, he said, provide a new strategy on protecting public health and preserving the natural environment. His proposals will limit the use of plastic bags, mandate recycling, and help reduce the territory's